The 6 Steps. Chapter 18. 6 Steps to Confidently Getting Your Life Back. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Mark Twain. Is your head swimming yet with all this new information? That is to be expected. When I first learned about my options, it seemed like each week I would tell my family I found the next thing, the thing that was going to make me better, or the magic pill. What I learned the hard way is that there is no specific quick fix, magic pill, or really any one specific thing that will cure any of us. It is a culmination of everything working together to create sustainable, real change. Unlike it was for our grandparents or for their parents before them, it is more difficult to take time for ourselves now than ever before. Our typical work schedules are hectic and unsustainable, and that is just one aspect of the tides that have changed. We are now expected to do so much more each day than tend to our land, our farm, or our families. The changes we have to make need to go deeper than one simple pill or switch. We have to combine all of the things we have access to and participate in the world differently than we have been taught. Healing takes time, and each person's healing timeline will look a little different. I was unhealthy for most of my life, and it has taken me about 3 years to finally feel like I am in the place of total healing. Each person will have their own individual healing journey. Throughout this book, you learned several different types of health, several different ways to take your health into your own hands. Let's take some time to organize the health journey into 6 simple steps for you. The 6 steps to getting your life back. Step 1, find a doctor who will listen to you. Step 2, experiment. Step 3, heal. Step 4, repair. Step 5, rebuild. Step 6, live. Step 1, find a doctor who will listen to you. We need to build a team around us of people who have our best interest at heart. Too many times I have sat down in doctors' offices and felt like a burden for asking questions, being concerned, or taking too much time. I went through 7 doctors before I found one who was willing to do all of the tests I asked for, and most importantly, listen to my concerns without rushing me or jumping to uneducated conclusions about my health before actually hearing what was wrong. He was also honest with me about his shortcomings and gave me several suggestions for more natural-minded, holistic doctors who were able to help me get further along on my journey. I think it's important to at least have one medical doctor on my teams to run things by in case of acute medical issues. Step 1 can include any medical professionals you feel will help you along your journey for health, not just medical doctors. For instance, I have a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a naturopathic doctor, and a homeopath on my team. You could also add a nutritionist to help you guide your food program. I go to all of them at different times for different reasons, but having several go-to professionals on my side has proven helpful. Refer to the workbook in the appendix for specific questions to ask each professional, as well as some guidelines for how to pick someone right for you. There are medical health professionals who will search for the root causes. Those professionals want to help you find out what is causing the problem for real and help you work through it. You just have to find them. For instance, if you see an acupuncturist, chiropractor, medical doctor, or other health provider and express that you are having pain in one area of your body, they could actually tell you what organ systems are involved and give you some guidance or support for that area. Anyone who got into the business of truly helping to heal other people and animals starts out wanting to do just that, heal. Medical visits have changed dramatically over the last 50 years, and the need for medical attention has risen. There are plenty of doctors and healthcare providers who still have their patients' best interests at heart. The classic model looks like this. We have a problem, we go to the family doctor, we get some tests, we take some medication, voila, problem solved. That model is dated, frankly. It doesn't work anymore. The idea that you have to see one doctor, a primary care physician who is supposed to know all of the things, is outdated. We have no shortage of healthcare specialists with different expertise. This section is all about finding out how many people you want on your team. I consult with a general care practitioner, an integrative medicine doctor, as well as a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a homeopathic doctor, a massage therapist, a physical therapist, and a psychiatrist. I do not see all of these professionals on a regular basis, but I like to know that I have an amazing group of people who want to see me healthy and have only my best interests at heart. It took me a long time to gather this fantastic group, but it was worth it. I also have several people in my medical tribe to support me through any healing crisis or just for maintenance. Additionally, I was open about the journey I was on with my family and friends. Several friends stuck around and saw me through. Some were not up to the task, and that was okay too. Coming out on the other end, I found that those people who are willing to journey through the dark with you are your forever people. Even though I do not seek guidance as often as I used to, I still have the opportunity to bounce ideas off of other professionals if something comes up that I cannot fix myself. It's nice to have several types of healing professionals in your arsenal. I went through a lot of duds when I was building my team. It took a while to find the people who actually gave me time to express my concerns. I found some amazing people, and I want you to know that there is a wide world of people who care and want to help waiting, and they are waiting for you to find them. There are other options besides your one health insurance signed you up for, and you are not getting the answers, then keep looking. This step is all about teaching you how to find those people who are going to help you do all the things. You could need a coach who's going to help you make the right meals and teach you how to build those new habits, for example. But you could need sleep, cellular support, movement, and of course, a positive mindset about learning new things. There is no one thing that you can do to solve every problem, although sleeping will solve a lot more of them. Even a nutritionist, someone who tells other people how to eat, even as a nutritionist, I still can't do just one thing. Eating right isn't enough, and just exercising isn't enough, and just getting a little sleep isn't enough. We have to do all of these things together. We have to move our body, put the right things in, and be of the mindset that you can, in fact, heal your body. There is no magic pill. When we find good support, people who can trust on this journey, then it can make healing a heck of a lot easier and more sustainable. Remember, we are not just doing this for ourselves. When we change what we believe, we cannot help but help other people. By sharing your journey, you will inevitably affect change in those around you. Step 2, experiment. The best way to find out what works for you is to start experimenting on yourselves. There is no set of rules that fits every single person. We have to experiment and find out what works best for us. You might do really well with eating certain foods that really bother your family members. The best way to find out what foods bother you is an elimination diet. Refer to chapter 12. Once you have figured out what foods are bothering you, you can start to heal. Blood work can provide you with an excellent baseline for your current health, and you can retest in 3 to 6 months to see if there are improvements. I recommend consulting with your medical team to get a clear picture of where you are starting from at this point. I also recommend testing for general health by using blood tests for hormones, autoimmunity, and inflammation. I have found that doctors who describe themselves as functional medicine doctors are often more capable of noticing trends in your health and will be better to advise you on making necessary changes. This way you have a snapshot of your current health. This can also help you and your team set goals for what you would like your numbers to look like from a year from now. If you see yourself as your own test subject, you will be more empowered knowing what works and what doesn't work specifically for your body. Again, every person is different. Just because it worked for your neighbor or friend doesn't mean that their exact formula will work for you. Dig way down to the roots. You know that pesky headache you get every few weeks or that sore knee that seems to come out of nowhere? When symptoms start showing up, the body has already started to break down and we need to start to rebuild. The problem is that it is hard to trace back to the time when it started to go badly or what it was related to, because so often it happens, the symptoms get covered up or we chalk them up to the normal aging process. Somehow we still manage to focus on the things that bother us the most without thinking about the issues that led up to the problem's onset. For example, if you're getting migraines, you're going to do whatever it takes to figure out how to not have the migraines anymore. The problem with that logic is the migraines probably weren't caused by anything you've done recently. Instead, they were caused by something much deeper or something that built up over a lifetime of wear and tear on your body. Instead of looking at the current problems or the current symptoms, we need to look for the deeper roots. My client Barbara had been dealing with various health issues for more than 20 years. Doctors at the time were not focused on finding the root cause of the health issues. When she first started searching for herself, the internet and search engines were not as accessible as they are now. Doctors had been trained to treat autoimmune diseases or really treat beyond the symptoms. Today, we have integrative specialists and naturopathic doctors who are looking for specific problems. It wasn't as easy then to get help to get to the root cause. Barbara started out more than 20 years ago with what she thought was what she was told was a shingles outbreak, even though she had never had a rash or the typical pain associated. A few years later, she was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr, an autoimmune disease, and a few years later, she was told she had celiac disease. By the time I had met her, she was on an extremely limited diet, extremely tired, and living in a fog. Over the year that I worked with her, we uncovered new problems as we healed the old ones. When we finally got to the root, she was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, an autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid. In fact, when she was diagnosed, her doctor said that this may have been what started the whole chain of events. By healing her body, we were able to uncover the root of her health problems, at the point where she was finally able to start living her life. Today, Barbara has energy to spare, and she couldn't be happier. Often, when our symptoms get bothersome enough to take action, the body begins the process of surviving rather than thriving. It will take time to get to the bottom of your issues, and it will take a little time to correct the course. With Barbara, it took 20 years to get to the root. Each time she got a little closer to the real problem, she healed a little more. Then when she finally found the thyroid autoimmunity, we were able to fully support and correct the areas of her body and give her a full life. It can be a challenging process, but nothing could be more worthy cause than getting your health back and living a long and beautiful life. It is never too late to start something new. It will take time, but the time is going to pass anyways. The road before is no longer serving the purpose, and it's okay to start anew. Step 3, heal. Results in hand and team by your side, it's time to start breaking through the glass ceiling of health. Living a full, vibrant life is not just for the 1%, it's for everyone. Once we know how attainable a long and healthy life can be, why not fight for what is rightfully ours? Now that we have your test results and are ready to start tackling them, get a plan in order with your team. See appendix for actionable steps to reach your goals. Healing is a process all on its own. Remember that you did not develop a problem overnight. Instead, small things escalated over a period of time, eventually showing you more and more noticeable signs. I refer to this as your body whispering to you. Think of something small like a headache every now and then in the middle of the day for no apparent reason. When that didn't catch your attention, they started coming more and more often. Then it builds from there. You didn't get sick overnight, and most likely you won't heal overnight. It's going to take a little time and a little patience with your body. The body has to work to complete the healing process. Healing can also look like illness. Often when we are reversing a long-time damage in our organs, we go through detox. You may have heard detox referred to in its more popular form of cleanses or juice cleanse or liver cleanse. These are fancy ways of saying detox. When we are healing and cleaning out the sludge of our bodies, it often results in the same feelings we are trying to avoid. If your health issue is headaches, detox may look like even more headaches. This can be frustrating, but it is where those other members of your team come in. For me, detox lasted about 2 years, not consistently, of course, but I had phases of detox as each of my organ systems cleaned out the junk that was stored in there. Healing looks a lot different for everyone, but this is the point where we are throwing the body a life raft and allowing the body to stop fighting and start the next process, repair. Step 4, repair. This is the most fun step. You get to fix all the tissue inside of your body that has been damaged over the years. Your body, without the pressure of fighting illness or fighting itself in the case of autoimmune disease, is allowed to finally repair. Again, this is going to take time. This is where we would follow Hering's law of the cure. There is no such thing as a quick fix, better in a week, or an overnight life-changing miracle pill. But there is such a thing as good old-fashioned allow time to heal. Give yourself some time to heal. You can do plenty of things to help speed up the process. For instance, remember in chapter 10 that we talked about how your body heals itself during times of rest? When you are up and moving around, you are using your energy to walk, talk, digest, and think. The primary time to use energy to heal your body is during sleep. The more and better quality sleep you can get, the more likely you are to decrease your healing time as well as your repair time. Another tool is adding in some super supplements to help support your organs during this time of repair. Supplements can help support your organs in need of repair, especially the liver support, digestive enzymes, hydrochloric acid, fish oil, and probiotics. Refer to chapter 14 for specific recommendations. Step 5, rebuild. Now that your tissues are nice and smooth and complete again, you can start the process of building yourself back up. It is important here to note that while the tissues in your body are repairing, it's going to be difficult for your body to heal other aspects. For instance, if you were trying to heal leaky gut and you were doing all the things, taking supplements, eating the right foods, getting the best sleep you've ever had in your life, your body is focused on healing from the inside out. So if you decided halfway through to start a heavy exercise program, you will find your muscles heal very slowly. A typical gym day might leave a person sore for 1 or 2 days, where someone healing their organ tissues may feel sore for upwards of 7 to 10 days. Take this sign that your body isn't quite ready for this kind of activity. It is important to stay attuned to what your body needs and respond accordingly. Step 6, live. The last step of this journey should seem fairly obvious, but Most often it isn't. Your body has been working its ass off, pun intended, to repair and rebuild. It is now time to get your life back. You will start slowly at first, but as time goes on, you will have more energy, more mental clarity, and more freedom to stop worrying about what you are supposed to do next for your health and instead go out and play. Remember to consistently listen to your body. Do not push harder than you need to, and continue to support yourself through sleep, good whole foods, and supplements that you support you specifically. You went through a lot to get to this place that you were when you started this book, and it is going to take you some time to get to this stage. But once you get here, stay here. Don't allow yourself to slip back into old debilitating routines. We humans in today's society especially have a tendency to feel like we are bulletproof, that we couldn't possibly get knocked down, not for a second time anyway. But guess what? If you fall back into old habits, you could potentially start the damage cycle all over again. If that happens, then what was the point of getting off the hamster wheel in the first place? Once you have started this journey, continue to love and support yourself for the rest of your life. In doing so, you will change the lives of many others. Conclusion. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. Mark Twain. As a researcher, I learned the most important thing we can do with our research is to share it with other people. We call this disseminating our findings. You can do this by living your best life. Now that you have energy to spare, go out and enjoy all that life has to offer. Share your joy with the world and start living in the life you were meant to. This is the most important step because once you have healed or at least started to get your life back, then you must share your story. Tell other people how your life has changed and inspire change in others. When we do this, we are leading the ways for others to have hope, freedom, and well-being. The goal is to not just get healthy, but to make sure that other people do not have to walk the same dark and scary tunnel of disease. Now we get the greatest opportunity and gift of all. We get to give back. By reading this book, you have already started the first step on your health journey. Now you have the opportunity to follow some or all of the steps provided in this book to create the ultimate and full life. I have found through research and personal experience that we are not capable of changing other people. We can only change the way we live our lives and hope that others will follow suit. When I first started on this healing journey, most of the people in my life looked at me with skepticism when I refused any traditional medical treatment. I was determined to not be another person stuck on the wheel of chronic illness. I felt at times that I had to battle myself and others to fight for my health and my right to live a beautiful life. I began to heal. Something shifted in those around me. They started to see me feeling my best, full of energy and life. This made them want to know more. I used their questions to open up about how I had been living and healing myself. The changes that others saw in me inspired their own changes. I took a lot of turns on my health journey that didn't produce many changes in my health. It took me a long time to realize that I was starting from the wrong places. I wrote this book in a specific order that I think healing should take place, not necessarily the path I took first. I sort of bumped around in the dark until I found my way. I hope this book can serve as a light post for you on your journey. You have already read an entire book on changing your life, and I hope implementing some of these changes will bring you great successes. I believe the first and most important place to start is with our thoughts and beliefs. If you remember from chapter 1, I found very little success until I changed my attitude about what healing actually meant to me. Once I figured out how the negative thoughts about my body were affecting me, I was able to put new practices in my life that included a clean diet, a sleep routine, a healthy exercise regimen. The order of this book follows the way I feel healing should take place, from the top down and the inside out. The appendix of this book is a workbook that you can either fill in right here or print out to use as many times as you want. These steps are meant to help empower you on your own journey back to health. I wish you success above all, true health.